In Moscow, Russia, the military are deploying air defense systems in several locations, including very close to residential buildings. This happens after Ukraine confirmed that it completed tests of a combat UAV with a 1,000 kilometers range. Thanks Sweden, developed specifically for winter fighting, the C-90 has good mobility in snow and rough terrain while delivering and supporting 6 to 8 fully equipped soldiers. Its 40mm autocannon provides impressive and highly accurate fire support. Senior Kremlin officials continue holding high-level meetings with Belarusian national leadership, activity that could be setting conditions for a Russian attack against Ukraine from Belarus, although not necessarily and not in the coming weeks. The German right-wing Alternative for Germany Party and the German left-wing Left Party opposed the transfer of Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. Breaking, Denmark announces that it will donate all of its 19 French Caesar self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine. The most dangerous course of action of a new Russian attack against Ukraine from Belarus in early 2023 seems less likely given current Russian military activity in Belarus. A new possibility of an attack from Belarus in late 2023 seems more likely. Russian forces currently deployed in Belarus are undergoing training rotations and redeploying to fight in eastern Ukraine. There are no observed indicators that Russian forces in Belarus have the command and control structures necessary for the winter or spring 2023 attack against Ukraine, about which Ukrainian issued warnings in late 2022. Russia's nationalist military bloggers continue to criticize the idea of Russian forces attacking Ukraine from Belarus. Russian milbloggers continue to react negatively every time the idea of Russian forces attacking Ukraine from Belarus resurfaces. One milblogger stated that it is a bad idea for Russia to significantly expand the front from Belarus because Russian forces' battlefield performance improved after compressing the front following Russia's withdrawal from Upper Kherson. Lavrov attacked the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, underscoring the infeasibility of the Kremlin supporting a third Minsk-type agreement. Lavrov accused NATO and the European Union of using the OSCE against Russia and falsely claimed that the OSCE agreed to the Minsk agreements, which is about the failed ceasefire accords that the Kremlin coerced Ukraine into accepting in 2014 to 2015, which stipulated major political concessions undermining Ukraine's sovereignty, only to buy time to prepare for a war against Russia. The Kremlin is intensifying its information operation to promote a false narrative that the war will escalate if Ukraine receives weapons capable of striking Russian forces in occupied Crimea. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov responded on January 19 to a New York Times report that U.S. officials are considering providing Kyiv with weapons capable of striking Russian military infrastructure in occupied Crimea and southern Ukraine. Peskov's threats are part of a Russian information operation designed to discourage Western support to Ukraine and do not correspond to Russia's actual capabilities to escalate against the West. Russian President Vladimir Putin is increasingly siding with the adversaries of Wagner Group financier Yevgeny Prigozhin, likely in an ongoing effort to degrade Prigozhin's influence in Russia. Putin met on January 18, 2023, with St. Petersburg Governor Alexander Beglov, one of Prigozhin's overt enemies, for the first time since early March 2022 to discuss St. Petersburg's role in the Russian war effort. Putin's demonstrative meeting with Beglov and their specific discussion of Beglov's contribution to the war effort directly challenges Prigozhin's ongoing effort to assert his own authority over Beglov and St. Petersburg. If you want to stay ahead with news, updates, and exclusive military footage from Ukraine, make sure to support us on our Patreon page with the link below. Thank you very much for your support.